If your fish are hanging at the surface of your water just trying to breathe, it's because the environment in your fish tank has shifted in a way that means oxygen is harder for them to use. Put it simply, they're gasping at the surface of the water because something in the system of your aquarium has stopped your oxygen from being usable and that oxygen system from working. Understanding the cause of that is literally as simple as going through a couple steps. So in this video, we're going to be going over the main reasons your fish will gasp at the surface of your tank, which one of those things is happening in your tank right now, and then how to fix that exact thing. So let's dive in. Before I go into the long-term solutions, you've got a serious issue right now if this is happening in your tank. You need to fix it by increasing your surface agitation. More oxygen will happen through more gaseous exchange at the top of your water. So create ripples. Couple ways to do that: add an air stone to your tank, or your filter outlet, angle it up so it creates ripples. If you have like one of those filters with a nozzle at the top, just crank the oxygen up to it like hardcore. And the last thing I want you to do is do a partial water change with obviously oxygenated water. Now, none of these things fix the root cause of the problem. They just buy you more time to change the system that is currently failing you. Now, the most common reason that fish gasp at the surface, if you haven't already guessed it, is low dissolved oxygen. The way oxygen gets into your tank is through gaseous exchange at the top of the water. That is literally increased or decreased by how many ripples you have in your tank. So oftentimes you'll find oxygen issues with tanks that are moderately stocked with water that's only just flowing. That kind of environment of barely any surface agitation will create a lower oxygen environment than the same tank cranked up with air stones and filters going everywhere and a spray bar on your outlet. That being said, there are fish that are way more suited to a calm tank versus a highly agitated tank. So the first thing I want you to check is the surface of your water agitated. Then the second thing that plays a huge role in this is stocking. How much stuff in your tank is chewing up that oxygen. So obviously, if you have a really heavily stocked tank, your oxygen demand is going to be much, much higher. And if your tank, for example, is like a small footprint, but really tall, like lots of beautiful display tanks, you've only got a small area at the top of your tank that's actually creating that gaseous exchange, which is why your taller tanks tend to have less total dissolved oxygen. And your short, fat tanks, how we like them, have got much better oxygen content as well. If you've got lots of agitation, but heaps of fish, and you still have fish gasping for air, you've got a fundamentally broken system. You either need to reduce the stocking or increase the footprint, or there's a few more factors that come into it as well. Biggest being temperature. If your tank is a really hot tank, naturally it holds less oxygen. Cooler temperatures can just physically hold more oxygen. Do I know how? No. All I know is that hot temperatures hold less oxygen, cold temperatures hold more. Now, if you've gone through your list already and you've gone, all right, there's plenty of agitation, stocking's all right, the temperature's all right, it's not like one of those really tall tanks, and so there's plenty of gaseous exchange, and you still have fish gasping at the surface of the air, it could be an issue with your fish. If you have decent levels of ammonia in your tank, which is a toxic compound that builds up because of waste, if you've got high levels of ammonia, that can like stress out the gills and burn the gills of your fish. They then have a limited capacity to breathe in oxygen from the water they've got, even though it may be perfectly oxygenated. So there's another one to check. There's another compound that you guys would probably also know, sounds like nitrates, but is actually much, much more lethal in much smaller amounts, nitrites. What happens with the biological process is your fish will produce waste. That waste will be broken down into ammonia. That ammonia will be broken down into nitrites, the bad one, and then nitrates. Now, nitrites, they don't really damage the gills just like ammonia does, but high levels of nitrites or even small levels of nitrites actually impact your fish's blood. Though they may take big deep breaths, their blood isn't getting oxygenated by those breaths. So this is the importance of keeping really stable water parameters, because these ammonia and nitrite issues, they present really, really similar to low oxygen. Your fish will be at the surface of the water. They sort of pump their gills really rapidly and they're gulping for air because they're just not getting enough oxygen. It's the same scenario, different cause. So if you've got this happening, check your nitrites, check your ammonia. Now there is also one, I believe it's sort of like bro science effect that does occur. And I'm not saying it's totally negligible, it definitely happens. When you feed heavily, that food and waste after the food's gone through the fish's digestive system ends up creating ammonia. That ammonia needs to be broken down into nitrites. It's broken down by this bacteria colony that lives in your filter, right? If you've got a massive filter and then you feed a massive amount, what happens is that colony gets so big and hench, basically, that it consumes oxygen just by breaking down that waste. And then once it's broken down that ammonia and turned it to nitrite, a whole nother batch of bacteria, which is just as hench, will then break that nitrite down to nitrates. Now, the physical breaking down of that waste is what uses the oxygen. Now, I think this is like a penny, like a drop in the water, basically, in comparison to all of the other things we've talked about. But some people believe having a massive filter and feeding really heavily can actually create a negative oxygenation environment. I haven't personally ever experienced this, I don't think, and I've had some serious filtration on some of my tanks. So something that happens is totally up to you and your experience, but I figured to add it to this list just in case. Now you've done all these things and everything seems totally fine, but you still have fish that show these symptoms. Is your tank really, really, really heavily planted? Most people will plant their tanks and think, damn, there's so much oxygen going into these tanks, because during the day, your plants will actually breathe out, right? They're just breathing out all of this oxygen into your tank. Creates a really good oxygenation environment. But when the lights go out, your plants actually breathe in. And when they breathe in, they create a low oxygen environment. They're not just replenishing themselves from nothing. They actually will consume oxygen from the water column overnight too, which isn't a big deal in your average tank, but tanks that have got really dense foliage, lots and lots of plants, and the plants is the main part of the tank, do suffer from low oxygen environments overnight. Often way harder to find because we're awake, during the day. We're not awake at night. So there's the obvious thing of you're asleep. And then also by the next day, they might be showing some symptoms, but the lights might already have turned on by the time you get to the tank. And then those symptoms slowly go away. So it's really like insidious because you don't get to see what's actually going on. And a lot of the times heavily planted tanks have got their own undoing happening when we can't see it. What you'll probably notice with this whole oxygenation thing is some of it is like bubbles, right? The most obvious 90% of the time or 80% of the time thing is how many bubbles or surface agitation have you got in your tank? If not much, turn that stuff up. The rest of it is all like, do you have a stable bacterial environment? Is your tank stable? Is your tank mature? Without the maturity of your tank, you'll get these symptoms in the whole new tank syndrome thing. So the biggest weapon that you can possibly carry in this game is having a mature tank. Fixes most of your oxygen issues, if they're not to do with surface agitation. Now, the main thing that happened in my fish room that caused that low oxygen environment was exactly what I told you. Really, really high temperatures. I'm talking soaring high temperatures. In your fish room, I'm sure that you've had fish gasping at the surface of the air. What caused that? Let me know in the comment section, because chances are someone watching this video right now is going to scroll through, see your comment, and be dealing with the exact same problem right this instant. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hope this helped and saved some of your fish. I'll see you on the next one.